So basically, before going to start with the JDBC, in general, if you create any application like student management system, so student management the student management system I wanted to develop as a web application. Okay. Excuse me, this important call. Sorry, sir. Yeah. So here the requirement is student management system. Let's say DurgaSoft wants this application for registering their students. DurgaSoft want to use this application to register students. Okay. So student will click on www.durgasoft.com in browser. He will use IE browser or Chrome. From there, he will enter the website URL durgasoft.com, and there is a registration page. There he will register himself, name, email, address, course. So from Chrome, when you submit this data, we read this data from our system. We talk about this, okay? We talk about this later. We read the data here. And whatever data it is reading from here, I wanted to permanently save that data somewhere, for future business purpose or tracking purpose. In future, if there is any new course happening, I wanted to send email to him. I want to keep this data safely in my server machine. So if you don't have this JDBC concept, server side, right, where do I need to store this data? Using IO streams, you can save this data into text files. You can save this data into text files. Most of you know, right? If there is a text file, something data.txt, Using file input stream and output stream classes, what you can do, using IO classes, you can able to store the data into text file. You can store data into text file. Right here, you can store it. Inside text files, you can store it. But keeping information inside the text file, it is not safe, because can anybody access these text files? They can edit and they can modify it. Okay, text files are not at all secured if you use text files to save data. First thing is they are not secured, and they are not transactional also. Transactional in the sense, at a time 10 students or 15 students try to save their information properly, that information will not save here. Right, that is what we say in our terminology, is not a transactional. Not a transactional. Correctly, it will not store every student information because it is a text file. And type safe also not there. No type safe. You cannot restrict, you need to enter only name, or you need to enter only number. In database, we can put the data type. Please enter mobile number, including numbers only, no characters, like that we can restrict. In a file, let's say if it is mobile number also, if you are using a text file, will that restrict you? Mobile number, we are asking here, you read data here and you store data into text file. Will this text file restrict you to please save only number? No. So type safety also not there. So it is not fully type safe also. And remotely not accessible. Remotely not accessible. Remotely not accessible in the sense, let's say one more application is there, right? So basically, who wants to access it? Student management system is for student, and one more application wanted to access the same database or same data, admin database system, like a Durga sir. He wanted to see how many registration happened end of the month. He wanted to calculate revenue. He wanted to connect with one more application, same data. He may not able to access this data properly from another system, from another application. So remotely also not accessible. So using text files to store your data is not a good practice, because they are not at all safe. They are not at all type safe. They are not even transactional. They are not even remotely accessible. Okay. And fetching data is not simple also. Fetching data is not simple. Is not easy. Fetching data is not easy in the sense, let's say in this data text file, huge data is there. From last 15-20 years, they are storing data. If considered, they are storing last 15 years data into this text file. From admin management system, one more application is there. Admin management system. So they wanted to read this data to calculate monthly income, or to calculate monthly how many students joined via again a browser. Admin wants to do that. Admin wants to do that. So they want to see all the students list here. So who joined, what is the student ID, his name, his email, for which course he joined, all that details he wanted to see here in this browser. Monthly data, only monthly data he wanted to filter it. Monthly data, he will enter the month, let's say December. If you enter December month, he should be able to see December month data only here. If you enter November data. Like that monthly data he wanted to read here, or he wanted to read here who joined for Spring, who joined for SCJP, who joined for Python. Like that he want to filter it here. Only that particular data only I want to get from this admin management system. Though you connect with the text file also by using, here we use IO streams to store data, IO streams we use. Here to read remote data, maybe you can use serialization concept and you may read it. List of data objects you can create via serialization, you may access it. Serialization and IO concepts, you may use it here. If it is a plain text file, and you can read data and you can present here. But filtering data is not possible. 10 years data you need to read here. Last 10 years data, let's say he have 1 crore students records. 1 crore records you need to fetch here. Via IO serialization, you need to fetch 1 crore records. You need to deserialize them and you need to send it to the user. Is it a simple task filtering from 1 crore records? Not an easy task. 1 crore records, reading and filtering it. So if you see overall, using text files or file system is a bad idea to store the data. For data storage, using text file is not a good idea. It is not a good idea. By considering all these points, right? If we consider all these points, using text file or any file system, using file system is itself a bad idea. So to replace this database concepts came, So if you use database concepts, right, we can avoid all that problems. We can avoid all the problems, whichever you see, right? We avoid that. So instead of using file system, have problems. Instead of file system, use database system. Database. Instead of file system, we use database here. So instead of this, if you can use database here, something Oracle or MySQL, so many providers are providing these databases. Databases are specially designed softwares. They are not your files. They are specially designed softwares. Databases itself, softwares, right? They are specially designed for database operations only, for data related operations only. Yeah. So database, if you can use, databases are specially designed softwares, right? Specially they designed it for data purpose only, specially designed softwares for data storage purpose only and data related problems only. Data storage purpose or data related purpose only, they designed these database softwares. Okay, so if you can use database softwares, what will happen is they will provide lot of features to us and they will keep on working on the database designing, feature enhancements day to day. The computer world is changing. Earlier we don't have mobile phones which are having these graphical user interfaces. We used to use land phones. Slowly land phones became mobile phones became Android phones and Apple phones. So evolution is happening. New concepts are coming. New features are coming. So database softwares also like applications like your Android and Apple softwares. Database systems, they designed it for data purpose, not for mobile purpose. They are for data purpose, to store the data or to read the data, or for doing database operations or data store operations or data mining operations. So if you use these databases, as I said, they will keep on, do R&D on databases for the, upcoming generations. They will provide beautiful features. So if you can use a database, it can hold your data securely, and it can make it transactional, and it is type safe. Remotely you can access. Fetching data is simple. Here I should not have mentioned not secured, right? Not secured. So databases using databases is secured, type safe, remotely accessible. Fetching data is easy. Correct? So any database you choose, open source software or licensed softwares. Right? Again, coming to softwares, some softwares they will sell, you need to buy. Some softwares are free, you can use it. Right? Arkill, a paid software, MySQL, a open source software we have. So many softwares, Arkill, MySQL, DB2, Microsoft SQL Server. Right? Arkill Corporation is supporting Arkill and MySQL. DB2 from IBM. MySQL is from Arkill Corporation only, right? Am I correct? MySQL release is also providing by Arkill only, I believe. DB2 from IBM. IBM DB2. IBM company, right? Mostly for their clients, they will use DB2 database. IBM is having mainframes. IBM is like they say, a grandfather. It is the first company who is having, the great software systems. And SQL Server from your Microsoft. MongoDB, NoSQL database. I don't know the provider. You may check it. MongoDB, Cassandra, Postgres. So many variations we have, so many types we have. NoSQL databases. Mongo is a NoSQL database. So these all databases we call SQL databases. Again, there are a lot of differences between them. Earlier, using databases with SQL was the approach actually to store the data. As continuously applications behaviors are changing, so many applications are depending on data, huge data. So storing that huge amount of data, like Facebook data, Facebook comments, or Facebook, some people, they will write essays in Facebook. So such data, it is not recommended to store in a transactional databases like Arkill or MySQL. So what people thought is, instead of having, SQL databases who are taking a lot of processing time, if they can have something like NoSQL databases, which can work faster than the SQL databases, right? So some people thought and they designed NoSQL databases. So NoSQL databases will work fast, and they are very much compatible to cloud software. Nowadays, cloud, cloud is handling all problems related to performance related issues and all, right? They are taking care of it. These softwares are compatible to clouds. They can automatically, they can increase the volume, automatic increase volume, automatically span nodes into multiple, failure handlers, you can say, or high availability, right? So all such features we have in NoSQL databases, mostly, right? Nowadays, for many of the applications, people are using NoSQL databases. For few of the applications using SQL databases. Earlier, we don't have this NoSQL concept, okay? Anyway, so database softwares better to use here to store your information. To store your information, it's a good idea to use database concepts, DB, database software. So if you want to store data into this database software, you need to connect with it. You need to connect with it. student passed data, so you read the data, you need to store data here. If you want to store data here, earlier in file system we used to use IO streams, file input stream, file output stream. You much aware, right? We can read file, we can store data into file using IO concept. So to store the data now here, to store the data here now, to store or whatever it is, to fetch data. To store the data, we use Jdbc concept. Java, here as my application is developing in Java to connect with the database, right? Java, Jdbc means Java database connectivity. J for Java, D for data, base, B for base, C for connectivity. Java database connectivity. Java database connectivity concept we use to store data into databases. Not only store, you store or you read or whatever data operations you want to do. Not only storing, reading, right? Filtering or whatever it is. So database software we use. Same concept we use here also. My system storing data here and admin management system want to fetch data here. Let's fetch it using again Jdbc concept. Jdbc is a concept which will help you to connect with your databases. Right? If you want to apply filter operations, whatever it is, right? You can easily apply by using Jdbc. So Jdbc is not a difficult topic. It is an easy topic to connect with database. Okay, easily you can learn and you can connect it also. But first, the required thing in your computer is database. You need to have database software to practice it. Or you can have a cloud database also. If you know how to create AWS database, you can create and connect with your AWS also. Okay. Now, let us see how to learn this concept to store the data, to read the data. Before to store the data or to read the data from database, you need to learn about a database also. Okay. So before learning this concept, right? After reading, we can save the data, we can read the data. Before learning it, let's try to understand database softwares first. Let's use Archil or MySQL. In my system, I have almost all the databases. Oracle, I will use. Archil, I will use. You may download this or else I will share it with you. Okay, I'll share it with you. I have Oracle 10G, I have 10G XE edition. I have. You can download this 10G XE edition. I have. You may download it. Okay. So now let's try to understand first database software. Right? First thing what you need to do, download database software, download DB software and install it. First to download software and install it. Second thing, okay, you need to learn how to use database. Learn how to use database. Learn how to use a database. Then only, right, you can able to connect with your, you can anyway connect from here to here. But before connecting here, you need to do some work here. Background work you need to do in database. Connecting, storing, reading is fine. Before storing or before reading, some activities you need to perform here. Basic activities that you need to learn how to use database. So in this learning process, very basics you need to learn is, in this learning process, right? The very basics that you need to learn is DDL operations, DML operations, and DRL operations. DDL, DML, DRL. You need to learn all these concepts. You need to learn all these concepts. DDL, DML, and DRL. Okay. data definition language, data manipulation, and data retrieval. Okay, DDL, data definition language. Is it like your CoreJava concepts? Not like that. They are all queries. All these concepts, right? Language in terms, queries only we will learn here. Data manipulation language. Manipulation. And DRL, data retrieval. Data retrieval. So we will learn these basics first. DDL, DML, DRL. So first after installation, right? Oracle software. Oracle is there in my machine. I installed it. So I will open Oracle database. To open Oracle database, they given one web page also. Via Internet Explorer also I can connect with my database. So this is Internet Explorer. I connected to I wanted to connect my Oracle database here. Generally, we connect MySQL and all using command prompt, right? In command prompt, we connect it. Even via command prompt also, you can connect it. No worries. Via command prompt, you want to connect. Do you guys able to see this browser? Guys, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So see, in command prompt, okay, let's not use it. Okay, via browser only, I will connect it. System admin. So this is my Oracle database. So go to SQL commands, option. So here you can apply all the options. Which options? DDL, DML, DRL. Okay, we learn about each. What is DDL, what is DML, and what is DRL, okay? So this DDL or DML or DRL, right? We execute them in command prompt. SQL command or GUI. We will use GUI, graphical interface, or command prompt. Okay, as we have GUI, go to GUI. We will feel little flexible here if it is a GUI. So what we will do as per DDL and DML, DRL, when you want to connect with database from your Java code or any other code, maybe a .NET code or PHP code, when you want to connect from here to here, before connecting, right, you need to create some tables here to store your data. Let's say if you consider database is like your maintenance book. In that maintenance book, we will write every month what we purchased, how much we spend, how much we pay tuition fee. Like that, if you want to maintain a book for your home management, nobody will maintain that. But if you can maintain it, it's good, right? We can see what we spend across all the years, to whom we given hand loans, right? How much debits we have. We can better track our home. Let's say, okay, forget it. So if you want to create such a table here in database, you need to know DDL to create tables or to work on tables. Let's say if you want to create a table, you create it. And one extra column you added, you want to remove it, you will use DDL only. One extra column you want to add, you use DDL only. Let's say you have a maintenance book. Recently, we moved to an apartment. There, they assigned me a job, do the maintenance. Okay, that was very difficult to me. They given a book, a big book they given, and there I used to write each flat number and owner name And what is the monthly maintenance amount? How much amount? Excuse me. I'll just come. Yeah. So when they asked me to do the maintenance, I opened a book and there I returned flat number, owner and amount, right? And their signature after payment, right? I asked them to sign owner signature, and owner from owner watchman will correct the amount. And I used to do my sign also. Okay. Who is doing a maintenance? So that I can approve that maintenance amount I received it. Somebody between was taking that, right? So this is how I used to create columns. Inside book itself, we are maintaining this much details, right? The same kind of detailing you need to maintain in your database also. So this is just a book, monthly maintenance book. Like attendance book, we have a big book. So this is I used to create. And one more I used to create, one more table I used to create there in that book. Serial number, right? And which work I have taken up, or for which task we made the payment. Okay. So work details or maintenance spend, on what we spent, what is the date, okay, and the description why we spent, all the data we used to maintain there. And finally sign how much you paid. So this is how I used to maintain a table in the book again. So the same tables you need to, if you want to create it, the same kind of tables, if you want to create it in database, you should create it the same kind of tables in database. In database, if you want to create the same tables, you need to use DDL concept. Database is also similar like your books only, right? In books, how you are storing the information, similar way you should able to store information in databases also. So this kind of table you should able to create it. So to create table, we have queries, create table, table name. Okay, maintenance table, monthly maintenance. Monthly maintenance table. So create is a command, table is also a command, and this is your user defined value. This is user defined value. Create table, monthly maintenance, And what do I need there? Flat number. Flat number, as I said, this is type safe. Flat number should be a number. We should not put something alphanumeric. If you have alphanumeric, you should put. If it is a number like 101, 102, 201, 202, you need to mention flat number. Numbers only. So for number in Archil, we have data type called number. And one more column, owner name. Owner name is a name, a characters, group of characters we need to enter. So for group of characters, we use varchar2. There you can enter required size. Varchar2 is a database type, data type. Right? For numbers, for flat number, data type is number. For characters, we are using varchar2. And this is the length. Owner name should not exceed more than 200 characters. The character length. For number also, you can put the character length. Owner name and amount. Amount again a number. Sign. Maybe sign not possible via application if it is. Maybe other alternative you can put, or you can create owner sign. As digital sign, if you want to take and store it into database, you can put it. As a sign, sign is a digital image, right? Images, we can store it into blob. And maintenance sign, whoever doing it. Again, a blob data type. So this is how you can create table. Blob is for storing images. It's a Facebook application if you want to create, and if you want to upload images and you want to store somewhere in database, using blob you can store it. Will help you to store images and any binary data. So this is how you need to create table. In future, if you want to add one more column, we thought that, okay, in this book, along with them, we want to see any post balance or his any debt. Is he have any debt? Does he need to pay any previous month's amount or balance? Sometimes you may give more than the required amount. So your balance must be there. How much balance is there? Your balance may be in minus also. Let's say today, this month, our maintenance is around 3,000. So if it is increase or decrease, so our balance should be maintained here. So that new column I wanted to add to the existing table. If it is a book, I can write a, whatever I want in a new column, and I can start using it. But if it is a table, how you will add it? Would you drop or would you delete this table to add? No, if you delete it, data will be gone. Without deleting it, you should be able to alter it. Alter table, add new column. There are so many queries. You please go through them. Okay, I'll share SQL material. So when new column is required, alter operations also you can do. Alter operations also. If you don't want a column, you may use alter column and drop it also. Alter table, drop column, maintenance balance, or one column is not required. Owner signature. I want to drop it. You may drop it. You can add new columns. You can drop existing columns. This is all possible via DDL queries, data definition language. Let us see. Practically, let us see. Create table. maintenance table, flat number, number data type, owner name, varchar2. Owner email required? No. Amount paid. Any balance if we have. So this is how you can enter required columns with their respective data types. This is column data type, column data type, column data type. Just you need a comma separator between them. Column to column, we need a comma separator. That's it. And this is the close bracket and open bracket and close bracket with the semicolon. That's it. Run it. Numeric precision is out of range. Okay, amount number, this much big number not required. Table is created. You see output here, table is created. Okay, if you want to see the table, really created, you can see by using DESC. DESC means describe, show me table. Describe me table, it will show you. See, this is the table. You can see this table is having flat number, owner name, amount, and balance columns. These all are the columns and their data types, their lengths. So this is how you can view the table. If you want to see the database of data of the table, you need to use this query. Select star from maintenance so that it will show you what data is there inside that. For now, there is no data. For now, no data. Just a minute. Excuse me. Yeah, good. So now there is no data. You created a table like this. You created a table. You can alter this table also using DML query. As I said, right? One column, if you miss to add, you can alter it. Alter table, maintenance, add something new column. If you want to add new column, flat number, owner name, and add how many square feet that, sometimes in gated communities they used to take, so based on square feet also. So if your home is small, the maintenance is less. If it is bigger in square feet, they may take more than the smaller one. So that square feet also, if I want to add, you can add here square feet varchar2 of, or it's a number, right? Table altered. See, table altered. It is saying your table is altered. Now see, one more column added in the table or not. Square feet added. So this is how you can create table. You can alter tables also. Okay, so let me put this queries, whatever queries, right, across we use, I'll paste them here. Described to see your table structure, not the data. Table structure. Table structure is different from table data, right? Table structure, this is to see your table data. Complete table data. All data it will show from your table. Okay, this is to create table and this is to alter. Alter table. This is to alter table. వస్తుంది కదా స్వామి, సేమ్ లింక్ అందరికి వర్క్ అవుతున్నాయా? ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ మీ, ఈ లింకే కదా జాయిన్ అవుతున్నావు? ఓకే ఓకే, ఇది ఇప్పుడు పంపించిన చూడు. మేబీ బ్యాడ్ లింక్ వచ్చినట్టుంది మీకు. Okay, so this is how you can create the table. Inside this table, if you want to store the data, so this is how you can create table. And if you want to store this data via SQL query, you can store data also. Maybe not from application. From application, if you want to store, JDBC concept we need. Now learn directly how to insert data. DML query, data manipulation. Insert data, insert into table. Did you forget SQL queries? Insert into table values. So flat number, in the same order we need to pass them. Flat number, owner name, amount, balance, and one more column we added is square feet. So one row inserted. So like this, we have 16 flats. So 16 owner details we need to enter. If it is from web, from UI, you will send the data. That data we connect with the database via Jdbc and we insert it. Now here, we are storing via command prompt only. Now, if you want to see the data, select star from maintenance. You can see this data. You can see this data, which is inserted into your table: flat number, owner name, amount, balance, square feet. 3 records we inserted, 3 records safely saved here. Nobody can delete this data without the software. If they have software access, they can see this data. Otherwise, they can't. If it is a text file, maybe small kids during playing in your laptop, they may delete your text file unknowingly. If it is a SQL software and inside software, if you insert the data via commands and all, nobody can identify this data and delete it easily. So your data is safe if you do CRUD operations via database. So if you want to delete a row, or if you want to, so this is DML, right? Data manipulation. All select queries are DRL queries, data retrieval language. All your select queries are DRL queries. DML, DDL, DML, and DRL. The select queries are DRL queries. Data retrieval. So these are very basics, okay? Very basics. I don't want to go too much into that. Okay. So now from Java side, how can I deal all these? Just I'm going to database software and handling it. But database application is not easily connected with third-party clients. Let's say as a student, you want to access via browser, and if you want to insert here. Okay. Now let's talk about Jdbc. It is Java database connectivity tool. Jdbc is a database connectivity tool. So using this tool, your Java code can connect with the database. Basically, the main use of this data is what, as a user will pass the data, user will enter the data, user will pass the data Java code will read, Java will read the data, and via Jdbc, we pass this data to database. Inside database, it will save it into tables. Inside database, it will save it into table. So we need to understand how Java via Jdbc will store data into database table. This is what we need to learn. So as these two are separate softwares, Java is a separate software and database is a separate software. How you can establish a connection between them? From one phone to one phone, if you want to connect, you may dial a number, that number will connect with other phone. So here, how we will dial to a database? Java need to dial to database. How it will dial? Via Jdbc, it will dial it.
Via JDBC, it will connect it. So using JDBC, Java can talk with database. Using JDBC, Java can talk with database. Okay. So here, to connect with the database in JDBC, we have a concept name called drivers. We have a concept name called drivers. These drivers only will connect with database. This will help you to connect with database. Drivers will connect with you database drivers. So to connect with your database, drivers will help. Drivers will help. Okay, connection is done. So once after connection, you will get a connection. You will get a connection object. You have drivers, you have connections also. Connections will help you to establish a line to database. Using driver, you connect it, fine. So let's say you dial a phone number, your phone will connect with another phone. So that is what your phone driver will do. Once after your phone is connected, you will be establishing a connection between your phone and the other side user phone. One connection will be opened for you. So using that connection, you and other partner, you both will talk in phone. Your information will be exchanged via connection. So driver will connect with database. Information will exchange via connection. The information exchange will happen via connection. Right? This connection is like a synchronous connection between you and database. Okay, between your Java and database. So via connection only you can able to establish line to database, and you can do all CRUD related operations. And statement. It will help you to create SQL queries and execute them. It will help you to create SQL queries and execute them. So using this statement, you can create your SQL queries, whatever query you want, DDL, DML, or DRL. You can execute them using statement or prepared statement. Using them, you can able to execute your queries. Queries in the sense these are the queries, SQL queries. Finally, result set. There is a result set concept. Result set will fetch data from database. It will fetch data from database. Result set will help you to fetch data from database. You did created a table using statement. You altered table using statements. And how you will fetch the data from table and you will showcase it to the user. Using SQL statement, you will execute this query. But you need to read the data. Via result set, we read the data. So these four are the major concepts that we will use to connect with database. Driver we will use. Once after connection, once after driver connect with database, you will get a connection. Using this connection, we create a statement. When you want to read data, we will use result set. Okay. Then how you will connect with database? How to connect to database? How to connect to database? In easy steps, I'll show you. There are four approaches basically. There are 4 ways to connect. 4 ways to connect. 4 ways to connect. One is type 1 driver. Using type 1 driver, we can connect. Type 2 driver. Type 3 driver. You please go through all these drivers, okay? I am giving you only one driver example here. Type 4 driver. we talk about this type 4 driver. We call it as thin driver. We use this type 4 driver. Okay, we use this type 4 driver class. Okay, so whoever is providing this type 4 driver, right? Basically, who will provide is database partners. Database provider will provide this. If you are using Oracle database, Oracle will provide this. If you are using MySQL, MySQL will provide this. So using this driver, you can connect to your database. How to connect? Simple steps. Okay, first you need to load driver. This is first step. Step 1, load driver. Step 2, get the connection. Step 3, execute, create and execute your statement. So to load driver, we use code like this. Class dot for name, we load driver here. So as I said, database partners will provide the driver. If you install Oracle, right? Oracle software I installed. See, after installation, did you get any Oracle folder here? Okay, I got Oracle here. Oracle, Oracle, admin, xe, or product, server, Jdbc, lib. So here I have a driver jar file. Oracle provided this jar file. You need to use this jar. Inside this jar, they given a class to connect with the database. Type 4 driver class they given. So what is the driver class? For Oracle, if you open this jar file, can I open jar file? Try to open it. In that Oracle.jdbc.oracle driver, you can find it. Oracle driver. So this is the class they given. Already predefined class. Oracle team implemented this class and given to you. Just you need to put this class name, including package name. In this jar file, the package name is what? Oracle.jdbc.oracle driver. So you need to do that here. Oracle.jdbc.oracle driver. Okay, fine. This is the first step in your Java code you need to do. Then you need to get connection. Second step. To get the connection, there is a class name called driver manager. You need to use this class. Let's check whether the driver manager is available here or not. You may see driver manager also here. Driver. Maybe somewhere in these packages you can find. Okay, driver manager is not in this API. It's a Oracle API only. Okay, driver manager, it's a JDK API only. In your JDK, it is available. Driver manager class is available in your JDK. Just you need to load your third-party driver class here, and you need to use this driver manager which is given in JDK. Driver manager dot get connection, and you need to pass whatever database you installed, right? That database URL you need to pass here. JDBC colon Oracle colon thin colon at the rate where it is running. It is in my local machine, localhost colon 1521 colon xe. And your database driver URL, username, password you need to enter. So if you do that, it will provide you a connection. A line will be opened for you. Connection will be opened. Now using this connection, you need to create a statement. Create a statement. And you can execute statement. Statement dot execute. If you want to execute to create table, right? If you want to create table from here, you can create table name, Advanced Java student, table name, and required columns, ID, number, name, varchar 2, like this. Your required columns you can put. Finally, when you execute this statement, the table will be created in database. Now let's put the same statements 1, 2, 3, 4 lines code in Java and try to run it. So for this, I will use Eclipse software. File new, create a Java project. Project, Java project, Jdbc. Just a minute. Okay. So now here I'm writing code, just creating a package, Jdbc. There I'll write one class, main method class. There I'll show you how to connect with database. Created a project and one main class. Okay. Now here write a main method. So now tell me step by step what we need to do first to connect with database. Step 1. As a step 1, we need to load the driver. But this driver class is there in OJDBC 14 jar file, right? So you need to put that jar file in your class path, because that is a third party jar, right? that is by default not available to your code. So go to external jars and add this jar file to your code class path. What it is saying, add throws declaration. Okay, add it. So driver class is loaded. After driver class is loaded, what you need to do next? Connect it. And this is also asking to add throws. Okay. The next third step is what? Create statement and execute it. So putting some statement, table created. Run it now and see. Advanced student, one table I am creating. Okay, it is showing table created. Now go to database and see. Describe advanced student. Is it created? Yes, with ID and name, one table is created. With ID and name, one table is created. Right? ID and name, one table we asked to create from Java side, it is created. So this is how you can create a table. Now, if you want to insert data into this table, one more for insert operation. Same thing, load, connect, and create statement. This time execute, update you need to use. Execute update to insert data. Insert into advanced student ID, name, values. You can execute any number of students here. So any number of students you can insert. So once after proper insertion, please don't forget to close them. Statement to close, connection close. This time not only table created, data inserted. Select star from advanced student. So 3 records inserted. You can see 3 records inserted for this advanced student, which we inserted. So this is how you can do insert operations. Now, if you want to fetch it, you can do select operations using result set. For select also, this 2 lines same. Execute query we will use to select the data. Select star from advanced student. Now you can fetch the data like this. While rs dot next, you can read each column data. Result set is a like a array table, multi-dimensional array table. In this result set, whatever data you have in table, right, that data will be fetched. The data will be fetched from your table and stored into result set. So for every row, I am asking to iterate it. To iterate it for every row, we will use while. In while, we will check whether the next row is available or not. If next row is available, we read the data. How to read data? Result set dot rs dot not next rs dot get methods. So get number, get int. First is number, right? Next is string. Now see, 3 students data fetched. 1 Rajesh, 2 Rakesh, 3 Mahesh. Data fetched. Data selected. So this is how you can fetch the data also. Okay, simple operations, right? This is for creating table, and this is for inserting data, and this is for selecting data. In such a simple steps, you can connect with your database. You can do create, insert, select. Simple CRUD operations you can do. Okay, for complex level, next level, go through the materials which I share. Okay. Yeah. So for now, that's all. After lunch, we will continue with servlets. Okay. So we'll connect by 1:30 or 1:40. Till then, this line is open. We will back in 1 hour. Will that works with everyone? Will you stay?
Yes, sir.
Or you may drop and rejoin again also. If you want to drop and rejoin, or else you can stay line will be open. Okay.
Sir, code and everything is where you kept it, sir?
I will put it in Git. This
Okay.
code completely accessible for you. Okay. I will
Okay.
share it in Git.
And the jar files?
Everything I will share. Softwares also I'll share.
Okay.
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 Software somewhere we uploaded and shared. Do you remember? Arkill. Okay.
Yes, sir, I
You
remember.
downloaded, I think.
I
Okay.
think yes.
Yeah. Okay, fine. We'll share it. Okay. We'll share all the examples and soft copy materials, everything. Okay. So please stay. Next 1 hour, I'll have my lunch and come back. Okay. You also please have your lunch and come back. We'll do servlet discussion. These all, discussions are short and sweet discussions only. I'm not going very in depth. I don't want even, take your time and my time also to go in that depth. Okay. So this plain discussion is mostly enough to know what is advanced Java in hardly 4 hours. Okay. So need not to spend months of time here. We need to spend time in Spring Boot microservices. Okay. And very advanced level, if you want to learn, okay, you may join the regular sessions also. Okay. But yeah, what I recommend is for Spring students, right, who are joining, for them, just brush up knowledge or a small knowledge. What is JDBC? What is Servlet? How they will work? If you know that, that is mostly enough. Okay. So that we aimed here, that we will cover here. So we understand the importance of database. Whereas we used to store data into file systems that are not safe, not transactional, not remotely accessible, we went through JDBC concept to use database softwares to store the information and to fetch the information fastly and securely also. Okay, so that is what the benefit that we see. Now we will try to learn the concept called servlet. JDBC concept we understand, right? JDBC we understand. It helps you to connect with the database. Now let us try to learn servlet concept. Okay. Now I wanted to show you the difference between static application and dynamic application. Okay, let's see. If you want to make an application which is accessible from anywhere in the world, okay, which is accessible anywhere in the world. If you want to access your application, right, you want to design an application, and that application I wanted to access anywhere in the world via internet. So I want to make an application and I wanted to access it from anywhere. So my requirement is what? I want to share something via my application. I want to share something via my applications. So if you wanted to share anything via internet to the world, you need to make that application as a web application. And you can put that web application into servers. And from servers, you can access your application in browser. And people can access your application via browser and internet anywhere in this world. Web applications deployed into servers. Servers can be accessible from browsers. Any application you take, which is accessible across the world, FB, the more famous, Facebook, Twitter, or your Gmail API, your Gmail application, or any banking application which is very famous. Any application you see, Confluence or Google Docs. So all such applications are deployed into their private servers or cloud servers. They deployed their applications into somewhere in the servers. So you can access them from your browser. All that applications designed and deployed into servers, you access them. Twitter may have Twitter servers, FB have FB servers, Google have Google servers, and Confluence may have in Confluence server. You can access that applications anywhere. Anywhere from your browser. I can sit in India. In India, I can open my laptop or mobile. In India, Indian customer can open his mobile or laptop browser and he can enter FB URL and connect it. Same way Twitter URL he can connect from his browser. He can access simultaneously everything. So all these applications he can access from his browser. Not only in India, he can sit anywhere in this world. He can be anywhere in this world. USA, he can access it. So your application can be accessible anywhere via browsers, right? Browser softwares are all available by default in your machines. Browser softwares are client softwares, right? They all are web client softwares. They all are web clients. Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, right? Web clients will help you to access web servers. Inside web servers, applications will be deployed. Okay. So inside a web server, application will be deployed. Example, FB. And web client will access Chrome, IE, Opera, Firefox. So many browsers are there. Now this one, Microsoft Edge. Okay, so many browsers we have. You can access any web server which is public, right? Which is available for public access. Web server which is available for public access. You can access that application. You can access that application via any web client. Means your browsers. Right? These are web servers. Web servers we can access. Web server softwares are like TOMCAT, WebLogic. WebLogic not only web server, it is application server also. WebSphere, JBoss. There are so many web containers, Tomcat, Undertow, Jetty. So many softwares are there. Web server softwares. Just a minute. So this is how you can build any web application. You can deploy it into web server and you can access it. Few applications are like static applications, few are dynamic applications. Mostly all these applications are dynamic applications. But if you see our DurgaSoft application, which is static application, this is also deployed. DurgaSoft, which is static. Few applications are dynamic in the behavior, few are static. So this is static application. FB is dynamic. I'll explain you why it is dynamic. Twitter is also dynamic. Gmail is dynamic. Confluence also dynamic. Okay. So why dynamic and static is, if you open DurgaSoft, even I open or you open, anybody opens it. Okay. Durgasoft.com. Same content will be showed for everyone. We have web application. This application is accessible anywhere in this world. Anybody can access it. You can click on these links. Again, one more static page will be showed here. I see here it is developed in ASP. ASP.NET. Okay. It's okay. But I don't have any dynamic content here. I don't have any dynamic behavior. Okay. These all are static links. These all are static links only. Register link. Again, it is redirecting to a different page. attendee, a different page. Okay, so only static content we have. So you open it or I open it or anybody open it, same content we see. But if it is FB, if I log into my FB, Facebook, see this is my page, Spring page. I can see here Spring content. Okay, so this is a kind of dynamic page. Here only my followers can able to see the content here, which I shared. Only I can able to log in and I can promote my sessions also here. I can post my sessions. Let's say advanced Java free session is going on. I can post a session here so that everybody can able to access it. Dynamic page. If I open Twitter, dynamic page. If I log in, it will show only to whomever I following their content only I will able to see. Whomever I am following. If you log in, I am following him, so I can able to see his content. If you are following some politician, you can able to see his content. So because these applications are dynamic, so here you have messages, notifications, some dynamic features you have. Profile information, you can change your profile, you can change your numbers and all. They are dynamic applications. Though your application is dynamic or static, I am able to access them from browser. I'm using Chrome browser. Through Chrome browser, I can able to access my pages. I can able to access my Gmail. See, Gmail, if I log in, it will show only my mails, not yours, because it is dynamic. Only I can able to see my emails, which I received. I cannot see your mails because application is designed in such a way, if you log in, only your content will be showed. For each user, they will bring a content separately and show it to you. Whereas in static page, for all users, same content, they will show it. So in case of dynamic, for every user, they will prepare content dynamically. For you, different content. For me, different content like that. So if you want to make static applications like DurgaSoft, a static application, you may need static. You may need not to have any dynamic programming language. Static application if you want to make it. For making static applications, plain HTML is enough. If you want to apply style, CSS, JavaScript may enough for you for making your static application. This we will talk. How they are handling, we don't know really, but we can guess them. Okay, how storages they are using. Okay. Yeah. So static application like DurgaSoft application, if you want to prepare, you can prepare it. Static applications, you can prepare it using simple HTML. You all must aware of HTML, right? If you don't know, you can easily prepare HTML from W3 Schools. Go to W3 Schools website. Very famous to learn HTML. So all HTML related code we have here. So you can try directly here, try run. So for putting heading, this is the code. H1 is the code. This is the heading. So if you want to put your application heading DurgaSoft, here it will come DurgaSoft. So this is how you can change your content and save it as a HTML page, RBU. So if you want to do it as a practice, do it here. So use static application file new in Eclipse, right? Download Eclipse software IDE. Software is not really required, but for making applications, it will be easier for you if it is via software. Come on, somebody taking control. No. What's happening? Come on. Oh. Let me restart my software. So plain HTML with the forms we need to learn. Basically, it is easy, right, to creating forms in HTML. You can use. For static content, you can write this way. If you want to create tutorials point kind of thing. Okay, you may download templates and you can use it. So just HTML will start with the HTML root tag. And you need to close with HTML. Do you guys able to see this?
Sir, not able to see.
No, sir. Yes, it's coming. Yes, coming, sir.
So HTML will have head content and body content. In head, we don't write anything much. Body we will use to write our code. So let's say you want to put some content here. You can save it as a HTML page. Save this as HTML page. Index.html. You can name it anything. A static web page. This is a static web page. Now, once after you save it, this is the page which we saved. If you open it, right, it will show your static content, RBU technologies. So your static content will be displayed. Now, if you want to make dynamic in the sense, I want to create a form and I want to accept records from students. I want to accept records from student. From student, I want to ask his information. This data I want to read and store it into database. not in a text file. I want to store it in database. So if you want to create dynamic content, alone this static HTML is not itself enough. Server side technology also we require. Browser side pages you can create, forms you can create using HTML. But for server side implementation, you need server side components. So to create server side components, dynamic application, right? You need servlets in the JSP. Using them, you can create dynamic applications, servlets and JSPs. Okay. So static content, if it is alone static content, HTML is enough. If you want to make it a dynamic, server side technology also we require. Server side. Static content will be loaded and processed in browser only. Though you write code in your machine, HTML code, servlet code, everything you put it in your machine only. So when user try to enter that URL, so and so URL, he can able to access your code, which is running in your local. Okay. So basically to implement such applications, right, we have servlets concept. Servlet implementation we have, right? For that, JDK given a servlet API. Servlet API. In your JDK, we have servlet API. Let's go and see, will it available in JDK or not? Will this available in JDK? JDK 1.8 library. Okay, so we need to use servlet API. Okay, servlet API implementations we have from TOMCAT. In TOMCAT, you can find the servlet API. Third parties given implementations. TOMCAT given servlet API. If you download TOMCAT software, right, a server, there you can find it. I have TOMCAT software. Let me open it. TOMCAT. TOM. Apache. Okay, Apache TOMCAT. TOMCAT 9. If you download the software in TOMCAT library, you can find servlet API. Okay, we are going to use this servlet API to make servlet applications. Okay, so I'll provide you these libraries also. So using servlets, what we do, we implement server side component. Static component we can build by using HTML. Dynamic component we design by using servlets. So let me create a static form also here. For student registration, you can create a form. Form tag we use. Inside this form tag, you can put your required fields, name. I want a text box, so you need to use input type is equal to text. And a key you need to put here, name is equal to a key, name. Email. Address. For address, if you want a big box, you can use text area. Text area tag. text area. Finally, one button. Input type submit. This is one button will provide. That button name register. So every form will have action. Your server address you need to put here. Okay, I'm not going to put any. I don't have any address for now. Just put hash here. No address. Save it. Now open your browser and refresh it. We got a form also. This page is having form name, email, address. If I click submit button, nothing happening. Nowhere it go because we don't have server side technology. Server side technology, we need to connect with this. We need server side component to read our data. So how to implement it? By using servlet. This is static page only. So to implement server side components, we need to use servlets. In this servlets, we have one class name called HTTP servlet. You need to extend the servlet class and implement it to handle that read operations. Now let's see a dynamic application. File new, dynamic web project, student management system, or else shorthand code SMS. I did a mistake. Let me drop it, create it. Student management system. Management system. Okay. So I will use initial version of servlets only. Okay. And I wanted to run it in TOMCAT. So you choose TOMCAT 9. Next. TOMCAT 9 is available in my downloads. So you can select your TOMCAT. Finish it. Next. Finish. So one dynamic web project is creating. Now you put your form, whatever form you designed, right? When you create a dynamic web project, you will see one Java folder and one web folder. Java source, web content. Here you need to put your Java code inside SRC. Your HTML pages you need to put inside web content. So whatever HTML page I have created, let me copy it there. So this is your HTML page. Now still server side, I don't have any action. I need to create that first. So here you can create it inside source, create a package, web or something else. You know, right? Package naming conventions, you can follow anything. Now you need to write a class here, right? Registration servlet. Registration servlet. As I said, right, you need to extend this class from HTTP servlet. Extends HTTP servlet. Now this is server side class. So this server side class will help you to read the static content which you are submitting. When you design your application, right? Here you have static web page which can connect with the dynamic class. So here you can have dynamic content. Static web page can have content that you can submit it. you can share it to server. Or else let's say simple browser. From this browser, you wanted to share some data, right? Like name, email, address. From this browser, when you want to do that, you need to implement server side component. And it need to be right inside Tomcat only. Whatever code you write, right? The web application which you are implementing here. Finally, you need to put this entire project inside Tomcat. Then only it will work. So your application student management system need to deploy it in Tomcat. SMS application. So here you have a class like this. A servlet class. You need to have a servlet class. This class will help you to read data from browser. The browser data it will read. How it will read, we'll see that. Whatever data you submit, that it will read here. Who will pass it, how it will pass it, that all we discuss. Now, first thing what we need to understand is how the communication will be established between browsers and servers. Any browser, any server, the communication channel between them is HTTP. Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTP protocol. It will be used HTTP. Via HTTP protocol, your data is submitted. Protocol means what? A rule, or you can say which will follow. Everyone will follow a rule. If everybody is following that rule, you can call it as a protocol. So all browsers and all servers will follow this HTTP protocol rules. So via HTTP protocol, the data will be submitted. Via HTTP protocol, the data will be submitted to server. So this protocol data your browser should understand and your server also should understand. Browser should have of HTTP protocol, server also, because let's say if I am speaking in Telugu and if you don't know Telugu, you cannot able to understand it. If I speak in English and if you can able to understand the English, our communication will be good. So HTTP protocol is a common protocol that every browser, every server will understand. So whatever data you submit it here, via HTTP protocol, it will be shared to server. So your server can understand it and it can give it to your Java class. So how you will implement Java class here? You need to implement method do get or do post. So if it is a get method, do get will be executed. Okay, let's see what is do get do post. So now here I have a form. Let me put an action here. Registration. Register one action. Dot means your previous URL, www.durgasoft.com or whatever URL you have. You need not to put that entire URL because this web page also there in the same application. If you put dot, it will understand, okay, it is my URL only. Then register. Let me put pre-tag. This is just to align this in a proper way. Now when I click on register button, this will call this registered action. Where this action will exit, it is there inside your web.xml file. In web.xml file, here you put servlet mapping. In this servlet mapping, you will put servlet name and URL pattern. So this is my URL pattern. When I click on button, my data name, email address should go to this address registered. So which is the class for executing that register? There is a class. Give the class a reference name reg. Now by using that reference, create a servlet class. Servlet name, same reference you put here, and a servlet class. Registration servlet. Put fully qualified package web.registration servlet. That's it. When you submit their data, that data directly will come here. Now you need to read that data. Your name, email address, string name is equal to request dot get parameter of name. Email. Address. Now whatever data you submit, that data straight away will come to this class. So now you could able to pass static web page data to dynamically to your servlet class. So after reading this data, you can print it here if you want, so that you can see whether the data we get it or not. Name, email, address. Right? This action I move to this controller. So your data I can able to read it via web.xml file. I configured it. Now to run this application, you need to right click, run as, run on server, TOMCAT 9, next, finish. It will start your application. Application is perfectly started in port number 8095. Default port is 8080. I changed it in my TOMCAT server. Now see dynamic content we got here. Now you can enter your data here. Submit. So your data submitted. Register action, name, email address submitted. To whom? To your servlet class. You can see data is displaying inside servlet class. Data is displaying here in your servlet. Now the same data, if you want to send it as a response to the user, from here you can send a response also. Response dot get writer dot out. Okay, dot print. You may print your data here. But generally, as per business, what we do, we save this data inside database. Using Jdbc concept, you can do that. Print name, print email, print address. My changes are done. You may restart your application. Go and right click and run on server. Finish. So now your application started. Now I am expecting response also back. So now I got it. Name Surya, email surya@gmail. And address HOID. So now you can combine this servlet with the Jdbc concept to store the data in permanently into database. Okay. Just give me 2 minutes break. Guys, just give me 5 minutes. We'll continue, okay? Small break. Do you want to take break?
Yes, sir. On 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, please take break and have a tea or coffee. Hello, I'm audible, right? Yeah, just will connect back in 5-10 minutes. Can someone ping in the chat? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, audible.
Can someone ping?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, audible.
Not able to see the floating menu. Or let me drop and join again. I'm making Ashok Akshay. Okay. So Ashok, can you please make me host? I given host to you. Can you please give it? Okay. Yeah. So we see how to make a dynamic, right? We see how to make a dynamic thing, dynamic Java code server side to accept data from browser. So your server side code, if you implement in servlets, you need to deploy in TOMCAT only. There is no other way. So the data which is coming from the browser, right? The data which is coming from the browser will be the data which is coming from browser will be transferred via HTTP protocol. The data will be transferred via HTTP protocol. Currently, it is running in localhost. If I deploy it in server URL, I need to enter here, right? Here you need to enter your data and you need to submit it. So my data submitted and I can able to see the data. The same data transferred to server also. So from here, you can connect with your database. So you need to implement servlet from HTTP servlet. Here, doGet method I'm using to read this data. So why doGet method I'm using and how many types of methods we have there? In this HTTP servlet, we have doGet, doPost. See how many do methods we have. doGet, doPost, doOptions, doHead, doDelete, doPut, doTrace. So why that many methods given in HTTP while submitting form, right? Here you can have the similar type of methods here. doGet, doPost, doOptions, doDelete, such options you have. If it is a post method, here you need to, instead of doGet, you need to use doPost. Here I'm using doGet, right? So you need to change from doGet to doPost. If it is post method. If it is a get method, you need to use doGet only here. If it is a post, you need to use doPost. As we were using get method earlier, in this URL, you can see after submission, right? You can see your action. After that, you can able to see your data, name, email, address. This data submitting via get method. When you use get method, the data will be visible in your URL. The data will be visible, whatever data you are sending, because you are using get method. If it is a post, the data will not be visible. Now, let's come back and reload. Now, once again, submit your data. Restart your application. Localhost, enter data, submit. So now I cannot see the data here. If you see, I can't able to see the data. Earlier, I was able to see in the URL. Now the data is not visible in the URL because we used get method. Now we are using post method. Now, whatever data I received here, if I want to insert the data into table, name, email, address, can I connect here from a data to a database and save it instead of printing in SOP? Yes. You can write your Jdbc logic here. Try, catch, and you can put your logic here. Class dot for name, load your driver. We have a code right already here. use that. Load your driver. Then URL, create a statement. Execute update. Insert your data here. So this is the query. But now this time dynamically I get data from user. Insert into Advanced Java student. Now properties are different, right? I'm reading name, email, and address. So go to your table. Okay. So just delete existing table, drop table, student, table will be dropped. Create again a table, create table, advanced student, name, varchar 2 of 50, email varchar 2 of 50, take little lengthy name. I have nice experience with this space issue. Student management system, one fresher implemented in my first organization in .NET. Attendance management. So there we used to enter our daily, task details, everything. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what they did, the fresher, right? He is fresher. He given something email character size 50 somewhere around. So throughout almost we used to have 500 plus employees in that organization. For 500 employees, out of 500, 499 employees, they able to submit their task details, and one person he is not able to submit. So it created a problem, and nobody is able to identify the problem, what's happened to the application. Code is fine, everything is fine. Now finally one of my friend, he verified the table and he see that size of the email. Fresher, he created table with email size 50. He identified that problem and then he resolved. Then he said to fresher, why you put 50? Are you giving size from your pocket? Why you are putting very limited size here? So you can use any size here, no issues with that. Automatically your database will adjust to space. Okay, so I created space here, name, email, address. So based on your requirement, you need to understand how much size you may get up to maximum. Some people names used to have lengthy names. Their surname, their father name, and their name, they will put a lengthy names. Especially in Tamil Nadu, they will put their father's names, forefathers' names, right, in front of their names. So they might have a lengthy names or lengthy email IDs. Email ID, it's your choice. Some people might have lengthy email IDs also. Okay, now table is created. I want to insert the data in this table, name, email, address. So first column is name, then email and address. Values are dynamic this time. I no need to hard code them here. I can read that values from directly name, email, address values. I no need to hard code here. So instead of hard coding, already we are reading them here, right? Name, email, just append them here. Address. So whatever data I have here, name, email address, I'm appending it here in this query. So your query will be executed. Statement to dot close. Close your statement and close your connection. Connection dot close. Otherwise, connection will be opened for lifetime. Your database may not provide maximum connections up to, for few users, application will work fine. Later, it will stop working because you need to close your connections properly. Okay, you closed the connection, fine. Finally, I'm sending output after saving data. So maybe restart your application. So here JDBC driver is required. Build path, configure build path, add external jars. OJDBC 14 jar file is required. Copy this jar file, put it in lib directory. To run your code, right, you need to put OJDBC 14 in lib because you wanted to connect with the database in web application. Earlier, we don't added it in any lib directory, just directly added to class path because that is standalone application. In web application, all your third-party libraries, you need to add it into lib. Okay, so don't forget that to add. Now run it. Application is started. Now see, let me register myself first. Register. Okay, I got output, and let's check your database whether your new table got the data or not. Select star from student. I got it, my data here. And same way, I want to verify your data also. You people want to register. Let's register here. I'll give access to you also. So sharing this URL in chat. Now click on this link. I shared one link you in the chat. If you guys open that link, you will see this page. Click on visit site. Bad gateway. Okay. Slash localhost 8085 slash, what is our URL? Student management system. Acha, 8095. Sorry. Let me rerun it again. Yeah, now shared new link. Click on that. Click on visit site and put here student management system. Student management system. Let me share this URL once again. No, you will get it. Just a minute. I'll be sharing you link. Yeah. Use this link, new link. Click on it. Click on visit site. You will able to see this page. So register yourself from there. You guys able to see? Anyone? Everyone, you there?
Yes.
Okay. So if you register, immediately I can able to see your data in this database. Let me know if anybody registered successfully. Wow. So many did. See, all your data came. HF Nagar, Pune, Guntur, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mumbai, Ongole. Your data came here. So as this is web application, dynamically it is allowing you everyone to access anywhere in the world. You can access it now. Use it in US, UK, Germany, Japan, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, anywhere. You should able to access it. You can access it and you should be able to save your data. How it is possible? Because of this client server architecture. Browser you used. I used server. I implemented application and I shared a link of my application. When you click on that link, a welcome page, default page from my application is index.html page. This page loaded to you. So in this page, I have this code, name, email, address. So this content, it is displaying to you. And in this content, you enter some data, and when you click on register button, it will redirect your call, your data to this register action, which is having post method. That request will come to web.xml. Here it will check URL pattern. For this register URL pattern, which controller need to execute, that mapping we have done here. This is the servlet name, same name I have here. So this name servlet is register servlet. So your request will go to this do post method. Here your data will come to you this class in the form of request. So using HTTP servlet request, you are reading data here. Once after reading, I'm connecting with the database and storing data. Then after, I'm closing the statement and closing the connection. And to make it available to via World Wide Web, I used NGRock software. You can download this NGRock so that you can build dynamic applications and publish to anybody. You can share your application. Okay. So this is how you can build servlets to accept data from anywhere in the world. Okay. If you want to execute anything before servlets, request coming to before coming to servlet itself, I want to check name, email, address data is valid data or not null data. I need to get validations I wanted to perform. So you can create a filter here. We have filters concept. You can use filter here. You can use filter here. So in your project, you can go and prepare filter. Okay, let me write it. So register filter. Before registration controller, I want to execute a filter. Validation filter. You can implement it from filter interface. There is a do filter method. Always your request, right? First it will come to the filter. Then via filter, the request will come to your servlets. This is how the architecture is, servlets and filters. When you submit data from browser or from your client, if your application is having filter, right, what will happen? The data will come to the filter first. So filter means in the name itself we have definition, filters. It will filter. Like your tea filter will filters the tea powder, right? Similar way, it will filter it. Means until unless you write the code, it will not do any filters. It is a filter, you can apply whatever filtering technique you want to write. As a request is coming from worldwide, right? Many spammers or some bad data also uses submits. So you need to validate that data, whether he is pumping good data or not. So inside filter, you can do that validations. So your filter will send data back to servlet, and response also will come back in the same way. Via filter only request will go, via filter only response will come. This filter as a common filter you can use for any number of servlets. I have registration servlet, I have login servlet, I have student payment service, I have student query service. Any number of servlets you can have. For all that servlets, you can use same filter. Your request will go to the filter, filter will execute first, then your request will go to servlet. So I created a filter here. I want to do validations. Request to dot. Same data I wanted to read and I want to validate it first. So read data inside your filter, validate it first. If name equals empty string or email equals empty string or address is having empty string. Anything. If they have empty string, I want to filter it out. I want to send response back. Response dot get writer dot output println bad data. Else, if data is good, I want to proceed. I want to send this data to my servlet only. Then you need to call request dot no. There is an object, chain object. Using this chain object, you need to call proceed. Yeah, do filter. So your request will be transferred again back to servlet. If bad data, it will send bad data output. If good data, then it will go to your servlet and it will register it. Name is equal to null or email is equal to null, or address is equal to null. This is the first validation. Now you need to configure this filter also inside this web.xml file. Like servlets, we have filters mapping also. Filter mapping also we have. Where is it? Filters are duplicated it. No, it should be there. Let me check. For our examples also we have filter. So we implemented a filter. See, filter mapping option should be there, something like your servlet mapping only. Filter mapping. Let's remove it. This DTD version not allowing. Same action. When this action comes in, first it should execute my registration filter or validation filter. I'll say validation. Filter mapping and a filter tag. Filter name and filter class. Like servlet class, you need to configure filter class here. Now shut down and restart your application. Yeah, you may submit data. Already link is available, right? You also can submit data and you can see I'm clicking on register. See, bad data. My filter is executed first. So if anything, address here I'm giving null. Still it is saying bad data. So you need to give good data. Until you give it good data, it will not register. Now I submitted good data, then it is registered. Okay. See earlier bad data somebody inserted. Who is that? Tell me. Who inserted bad data? Yeah, you might try it at least, right? You tried to insert bad data. It is inserted earlier. Now try it. Will it insert? Is it inserting? Now, no, it will not insert. Somebody trying to insert? Is it working for you? No, you entered hyphen hyphen. You entered, right? At least some character. It is not empty. So no chance that without value you cannot able to submit it. For whom it is inserting? Yeah, bad data definitely will get. Okay. Yeah. So filters, that is the benefit with filters basically, right? If you implement a filter, filter can filter the data. Filters can filter the data so that you cannot able to send the bad data to your servlets. Yeah, good. So you understand filter also, right? How it helps? Yes. Yeah.
Yes, sir. One more time. Can you show me that lib file? Yes, yes.
Here I added only Jdbc 14.
Means you are using Oracle 14, right?
Oracle 14. For JSP servlets, you need not to add anything. Tomcat you added, right? That will take care.
Okay, no, this, can you show me that location where you copied that jar file?
Oracle jar file?
Yes.
It is there in your Oracle installation directory.
C drive.
C drive, Oracle exe, app data,
Okay.
Oracle product
Product.
10.2.0 server JDBC. So this is the path. Lib, finally lib.
Okay. I have a lib file, not jar file in my system.
Check the path, you are in right path or not. Oracle app, again inside Oracle product, version, server.
Yes, sir, I got.
Got it, right? Yeah. JDBC. Inside JDBC lib.
In my case, it is that's what OJDBC 14 is there, underscore G is there. Which one?
Add OJDBC 14. Try both. Maybe this one also will work.
Oh, like that. Okay.
So now I can able to build my web application and I can access via URL. But the problem is here, this application is running in my local. Always I cannot run it in local, right? Via local I anyway redirected it. If you have server in server, you can run it. So 24/7 your application will be running on server. And you may map this to your domain also. Let me go to GoDaddy. So you were able to see this URL. rbubus.com. Manage DSN. Let me create or edit a CNAME. Okay. So DSN is updated. So rbubus.com / student management system. Such a subdomain is vendor, right? Vendor.rbubus.com student management system. Okay, bad URL, I might copy it. So it may take some more time. Okay, so that it will be available in www. Your website.com. It may need some time. Okay, leave it. Anyway, directly we can access it. Instead of that, via this URL also, you should be able to access this if properly DSN mapping is happened. Maybe something going wrong in this DSN, or it may take some more time. Domain need to map, right? Usually it will take some time. Okay. Now I'll show you how to implement it using Ajax call. Okay. Same thing, instead of form submission, let's see using Ajax how to submit it. Please go on mute if you're not talking. Yeah. So in Ajax case, what you need to do, your web page need not to be in your application. It can be anywhere. It can be anywhere, which means your client can be anywhere. See, I'm just commenting this page and implementing the same page using Ajax. Okay, Ajax script included here, Google Ajax script, and I created a form with name, email address. And when I click on this submit button, I'm reading name, email address, and my URL is registration. What is the action? Registered. You put your URL here and sending name, email, address in that URL. Fine. Same application via Ajax. Now try to run it. Form submission I'm not doing. Okay. Now enter your data, registered. What happened? Let's debug it. In case of Ajax, your page will not refresh. Your page will stay back same. Let me enter data and submit. Okay, on submit, it executed student management system. So it is saying data inserted already. Oh, data inserted 2 times. So when you perform something via Ajax, the beauty is your web page need not to be there in same origin within the same application, not required. You may host your application web page in somewhere else, and your server code can be somewhere else. Okay, so here why success is not showing. Basically, the success or failure tabs not created here. You may create them. Okay. So I want to hide them on document ready itself. Okay, again document loaded. One message came and gone. Or else you may print alert if it is not working. So this is simple Ajax call. Okay. So this is not showing any message. The problem, response data not coming back. We given response here. It is not even coming here. Maybe we need to do something else. Okay. Anyway, so this is the code for doing Ajax calls also. Simple jQuery you can use. jQuery and read your fields data upon submit button. On click.
Sir, you use CDN or a direct library?
CDN only. Yeah, use CDNs, always better. So any updates also, fixes also they do, but it will take some time to load the CDNs. If it is local, it will execute faster. So read your name, email address, and prepare a Ajax call. Type post method, URL, your action, then your data. Finally, the success method or failure method. Okay. Yeah. Now here I wanted to show the data. Which data which is inserted into database, I want to read it. whatever I have stored, I want to read it. So for that, okay, I will uncomment our previous code and comment the Ajax code. Okay. Yeah. Now I want to show the students data here. So let me put one more link here, anchor tag h reference / show data, show students. So when you click on it, I wanted to show students data. For that, I need to use JSP. So for this action, I need a controller, read data controller, read servlet. Earlier we implemented save servlet. Now I'm implementing read servlet. Extends HTTP servlet. Do get or do post. So this is simple anchor tag, right? Anchor tag will be always get only. This is get only. By default, anchor tag generates get call. So you need to use get method here. You are not required to read any data here. You need to read data from database and send it. So this is the logic that you need to put. Connect with database and read data. To read data, statement dot execute query you need to use. Here you can put select star from this table. So it will return data in the form of result set. So you need to iterate this data and send it as output. Okay. I wanted to put this data in the form of objects. Okay, let me create object. First create while. Result set dot next. So here every time I want to create one student object and I want to store data in that student object. Simple bean class, poso class to share the data to UI. Private int name, private string, email and address. Generate getters and setters. So here I want to store data into this student object. Student dot set name, result set dot get name. Right, get string. Column 1 is having name. Okay, what I did, name as integer I put. Bad thing. Name is string. So read name and set it. Email, set it. Address, set it. Finally, you will get list of students. So create a list and add to student object. So okay, you can use here your collections. This is where your collections will useful to carry data. List dot add your student object. So how many iterations it will execute? While for every student, one loop it will iterate. So we have how many records? More than 18 rows. We have 18 times it will iterate. 18 student objects will be created and added into one list object. Now this list I wanted to share to the UI. So what you do is you need to put this list into a session. Okay, request dot get session dot set. Your list need to be stored into session. So session means what? Once you open browser and until you close browser this tab, right, your data can be held into the session. So why I'm particularly storing this list object into session is I want to read and iterate this list data in my response page. So what is your response page? Yet you didn't decide it. So finally what you do is write the response dot send a redirect. You can redirect your page here. Dot slash result dot JSP. So you create this result JSP here beside your index.xml file, a JSP page, Java server page. Here you can read your data. So I'm storing my data into session. So I can use this session to read the data here. So we have some multiple tags here. In JSP tutorial, you can see. Don't worry, for each I'll create a material and share it to you. Very high level few examples I'm giving for your knowledge, okay? So this is one scriptlet tag. There I am reading my session. Session dot read data. Whatever you stored there, get attribute. Which value you stored in your code to read the data list. So using this list, you can read your data here. Same student data will be supplied you here, student. Same again, Java code only. Inside JSP, JSP is a beautiful concept. You can put Java code and as well as HTML code, both combined together. So this is your Java code. Whatever Java code you want to write, you put in this scriptlet tag. Now I want to iterate it. You know, right, how to iterate for each student. Iterate over the list. Now I want to print it. Of course, you print it. How do you print it? So between, I want to write HTML code. So again, you can break your code and put your for loop end tag here. For loop starting here and ending here. Between, you can write HTML code here. Okay. If you want to print, you can print here. So let me create a table. In table, I want to print students data. Table will have table header. Student name, email address. Table border. Now every iteration I want to read this content and I want to print a name here. So here we use expression tag, JSP expression, and you write Java code here, student dot get name, student dot get email. Get address. So you are done. Still, you need to configure mapping. This read servlet need to be configured. When you click on show students, it should go to the read servlet. Where do you need to configure mapping? Inside web XML file. Again, one more servlet came, right? One more servlet is for read operation. When somebody click on show students, it need to run read servlet. So configure that read servlet also here. Restart. Now this time you have read operation also. So students. So you got your data. Now access it via this NG and you can see the data also. Do you guys able to see?
Yes, sir. We can ping.
Yeah. See this. Beautifully data displaying here. So this is how you can use JSPs to combine your HTML code with Java code. Particularly for response pages, we use JSP for response pages, wherever you want to put dynamic content. So if you see this page is having some static content and some dynamic content. See this. Okay. Yeah. So just these are the basics. Just I wanted to cover. Okay. So if you guys understand, it will be fine enough for us to start MVC. Okay. There, when I talk about servlet, between I'll give you many examples. You may go and practice it. All these examples we have. And one material also I'll share via blog also. You can try to understand remaining concepts. Okay. It is not too difficult. Small concepts only. Okay. I don't have energy today. Otherwise, I could have covered so many things. With the fever, still I could able to manage the session. I'm not seeing my controls here. I'm not able to see your floating window. Okay, no problem. So what we do here is I'll upload all these examples are already available there. I'll share this link with you. Okay. Today, this example also I'll share it with you. Okay, please go through this Jdbc and this servlet example. Okay. Some projects also I have uploaded on servlets and Hibernate. That projects are there. You may download and use them. I will share a Git path. Okay. Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that's it from my side for today. Okay. We will connect. How many of you joined from 6:45 batch? I can't see your chart. Can someone 6:45 batch? 7:30 batch? Pujita is from 6:35. Mohammad Jabi, you are from 7:35 batch, right? 7:30 batch or 6:40.
sir.
Okay. Okay. So whoever is attending 6:45, right? For you, tomorrow I'll take a session. Okay. 2 hour session maybe 10 to 11. No, 10 to 12. Okay. I'll ping a link only for 6:45 batch. Okay. Because from Monday we need to start Spring MVC for Spring people. Okay. So in Spring MVC, when I talk about servlet, you should understand what servlet job is. Okay. You will easily understand their architecture. Okay. For more in-depth knowledge, if you want, wait for some time. I'll create a blog and share it with you. Okay. But this basic knowledge is sufficient. Okay. As we are not using servlets anywhere directly, we are using framework only. To understand framework architecture, this knowledge is sufficient. Okay. Yeah. I'll share the Git, which is having all the examples. Download and practice it. Okay. Any questions apart from it? Hello?
Sir, any specification is there, sir? A user guide or something like that to follow?
Yeah, I will share it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll share a soft copy. Yeah. But I mean, just have a knowledge of it. If you know servlets, you really enjoy it. But we don't have much scope. In real time using servlets. Mostly, right? 99.99 applications building in Spring MVC or Spring Boot. Not even Spring MVC, Spring Boot only nowadays people using. Spring Boot with microservices. Their implementations are simple using framework. I'll share the material and examples. Okay. This video also will be available for you in YouTube. Okay. So that's all, guys. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Have a good day. So thanks for joining your weekend time. Okay. So yeah, enjoy your remaining time. See you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
If you have any questions, post me
Thank you,
in
sir.
group. Okay. Post me in our WhatsApp groups. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir.